reflecting on India's struggle for independence. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished teachers, and my fellow students. Today, as we gather to mark India's Independence Day, we recall an enduring chapter from history, one marked by the perseverance and selfless sacrifices of countless individuals striving for liberty. The struggle for India's independence was more than a battle against colonial rule. It was a war on behalf of justice, equality, and self-determination. Figures such as Mahatma Gandhi, Jawaharlal Nehru, Sardar Patel, and many more stood as beacons of courage and conviction who inspired lasting change with their movements, not simply leading a cause but sparking revolutions of transformational change that could not be quenched. Journey towards freedom was no simple task, marked by trials, tribulations, and many sacrifices. Mahatma Gandhi led his followers in marching from Ahmednagar to the Arabian Sea to protest the salt tax. Meanwhile, Quit India movement demanded an immediate end to British rule. These events not only became landmarks, they symbolized courage of ordinary individuals who refused to be subjugated. As we remember this struggle for independence, let us also remember its unifying force. India's diversity, often described as its greatest asset, was clearly demonstrated during these volatile times, when people from diverse backgrounds, religions, and languages came together towards a common goal and sublimated any differences to become one united effort in pursuit of freedom. Ultimately, this unity undergirded our fight for independence. While we celebrate our freedoms as they have come down to us, it is also important to acknowledge the sacrifices our ancestors made and their lasting effect on us today and tomorrow. Their fights for justice, liberty, and equality should still guide our decisions. We are the torchbearers of their legacy, charged with upholding their values. Take inspiration from their sacrifices when facing the difficulties of modern-day America, like poverty, inequality, and environmental degradation, which all need to be combated collectively as our freedom was won together. Let their legacy not simply remain an anecdote. Let it spur action that shapes its future together with us all. As we approach another year of independence, let's not simply pay our respects to past struggles but embrace both present and future opportunities as active participants in nation building, such as those before us did before us, by striving for an inclusive, just, and progressive India. Thank you. Unity in diversity. Ladies and gentlemen, respected teachers, and my fellow students. On this momentous day of India's independence, let me extend a warm greeting. Let us join together to commemorate and rejoice in its freedom, while reflecting upon one of its greatest strengths, unity within diversity. India, with its diverse landscapes, languages, cultures, and traditions, is a living testament to the richness that diversity provides. Our nation is an intricate tapestry woven of threads of numerous colors, representing all identities and histories which live harmoniously together. This mosaic of cultures and beliefs was not chosen accidentally. Our ancestors deliberately chose it. Unity in diversity was fundamental during India's independence struggle. Imagine this: individuals from varying walks of life, speaking various languages, and representing distinct faiths united under one goal to break free of colonial rule. Their unity proved unstoppable, while this diversity strengthened their resolve. Unity in diversity should not remain solely within history. Rather, we should experience it each and every day as Indians, irrespective of our backgrounds. When we celebrate Diwali, Eid, Christmas, and many other festivals with equal enthusiasm, when saving our nation's diverse cuisine, or simply standing together, India stands as an inspiration to people around the globe in an age marked by differences, teaching us that differences do not need to be divisive, they can actually become our greatest strength. India exemplifies inclusivity and understanding, lessons which transcend its borders. As we commemorate this unity, let's also keep diversity top of mind as we commemorate it. Diversity not only encompasses culture and tradition, it encompasses different viewpoints, experiences, perspectives, and voices that might differ from our own while finding common ground with those whose perspectives might differ from ours. We need to remember that every story matters and deserves consideration. However, maintaining unity among diversity requires effort. To do so successfully requires going beyond stereotypes and prejudices and truly listening to one another, treating every individual with dignity, building bridges of understanding rather than walls between us all. Conclusion: India should celebrate her unity in diversity as more than just an empty phrase, but as an active principle to uphold. We pledge our dedication to upholding the harmony envisioned by our forefathers. Let us act as ambassadors of inclusivity and empathy so as to honor the spirit of freedom struggle of our nation. Thank you, and may all your efforts be successful in their endeavors. Thank you. Progress since independence. Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed teachers and my dear fellow students. Today, as we approach another Independence Day, let us pause to acknowledge and appreciate our nation's remarkable journey since colonial rule was lifted, one which has seen incredible advances and achievements that have transformed India into a major player on the global scene. Since achieving independence, India has undergone dramatic change across various fields. Our advancements in science, technology, economic and social development have not only had an effectful result for its citizens but have earned international acclaim as well. Let's take a moment to recognize our achievements. India can take great pride in its achievements in science and technology. From space exploration satellite launches to becoming an IT sector leader, our nation has demonstrated to the world its innovative spirit. Mangalyaan, Mars orbiter mission, stands as testament to our scientific brilliance. Over the years, India's economy has witnessed remarkable expansion. From being predominantly an agrarian economy at independence, we now rank amongst one of the fastest growing major economies globally. Initiatives such as Make in India have given a boost to domestic manufacturing, creating jobs and diversifying our economy at the same time. Education, the cornerstone of progress, has received significant consideration. Our constitution now recognizes a right to quality education for every child, while institutions of higher learning such as IITs and IIMs have produced graduates who have made their mark globally. Social development has always been at the center of policy decisions. The Green Revolution not only ensured food security for millions of farmers but also changed their lives for good, while initiatives designed to eradicate poverty, improve healthcare access, and advance gender equality have had significant effects on citizens' lives. As we take note of these achievements, it's also essential to acknowledge that many challenges still lie ahead. Income disparity, environmental concerns, and social disparities all demonstrate how far we still have to go in achieving independence, yet with determination like that which motivated our struggle, we can overcome these hurdles and reach success. Each one of us plays an essential part in India's journey toward progress. As students, we represent the future of this great nation, therefore we must equip ourselves with the skills, knowledge and values needed to continue this upward trajectory. Let's embrace education, innovation and compassion while striving to take India even higher. As we celebrate our nation's achievements, let us remember that progress is a shared path. Let's honor both milestones and collective effort which led us here, while working together towards meeting future challenges together, knowing that progress has brought us far. Thank you very much. We thank you. India Challenges Ahead 2023. Ladies and gentlemen, my esteemed teachers and fellow students. Today, as we gather to mark India's Independence Day, it is essential that we not only acknowledge our achievements but also consider any challenges that may lie ahead. While we should take pride in how far we have come since gaining freedom, we must acknowledge any roadblocks which still test our resilience as a nation. India, despite its remarkable development, still faces formidable development-related obstacles. Poverty, income inequality, environmental degradation, and social disparities remain persistent concerns. Therefore, it is our collective responsibility to address them head-on and create a brighter future for all. Poverty remains one of the world's foremost challenges. While we have seen amazing economic progress, its benefits must reach marginalized and vulnerable segments of society if these gains are to truly benefit everyone in society. Initiatives such as MNREGA have had positive results, but we must work toward inclusive economic development that leaves no one behind. Income inequality is another concern that requires our attention. The gap between rich and poor persists, leading to unequal opportunities and limited access to essential services. As responsible citizens, we must advocate for policies that promote equitable distribution of resources so everyone has an equal chance to realize their full potential. Environment concerns have recently come into the forefront, from climate change and pollution to resource depletion threatening our ecosystems and future generations. India has made progress towards sustainable development with their commitment to renewable energy initiatives and conservation efforts while raising awareness on why protecting the environment should remain a top priority. Social disparities such as gender inequality and access to quality healthcare and education still impede our progress. Empowerment of women, particularly in rural areas, remains a significant challenge. Therefore, it's our obligation to support initiatives which foster gender equality, provide healthcare to all, and ensure education remains available and accessible regardless of one's background. Though these challenges may seem formidable, they are far from insurmountable. Our grit in fighting for independence remains relevant in overcoming these hurdles. Students have an important role to play as catalysts of change, raising awareness, advocating for policies, and actively participating in initiatives designed to meet them. Let us remember that our journey towards progress will be long, arduous, and unpredictable. Challenges will arise. How we respond will define who we are as a nation. Let's unite in our commitment to eradicate poverty, bridge gaps of inequality, and protect the environment while providing access to education and healthcare for all. On India's Independence Day, let us renew our pledge of creating an India where every citizen lives life with dignity, opportunity, and fulfillment. Thank you very much. Indian youth's role in nation building. Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed teachers, and my fellow students. On this momentous anniversary of India's Independence Day, as we honor our nation's freedom, it's imperative to recognize the vital role played by India's youth in shaping its present and future. They represent an enormous portion of its population. Their advancement and prosperity are at stake. India's journey towards independence was driven by the energy, passion, and determination of young individuals who refused to sit back passively as history unfolded before them. From Bhagat Singh's unfaltering courage to Subhas Chandra Bose's relentless dedication, history abounds with examples of young minds leading the charge for change. Today, as we enter a new era, the role of youth is more critical than ever when it comes to nation building. Youth have an uncanny ability to dream big, think outside the box, and bring unique perspectives to the table. We were born into a world with rapid technological advancements, global connectivity, and unprecedented access to information. These tools empower us to be agents of change, coming up with solutions for long-standing problems as well as advocating for an equitable society. As citizens, We bear witness to the global challenges our nation is currently experiencing: climate change, poverty, and inequality among them, but we can also act as agents of change. Our voices matter, and our actions can trigger transformation across communities, whether through championing environmental sustainability or fighting for social justice. Each one of us holds power within to make an impactful difference. Education is our greatest weapon on this journey, giving us the knowledge and skills needed to confront complex issues head-on and imagine a brighter future. To succeed in this effort, it is vital that we become active learners, not limited to classrooms, but actively engaged in understanding our world and its complexities. Furthermore, education must go beyond textbooks, encouraging critical thinking skills such as empathy, critical analysis, and an in-depth awareness of society's problems. Let us embrace diversity as an asset to our nation's strength. The diversity in cultures, languages, and traditions across our country exemplifies its strength. To ensure we uphold it as torchbearers of this unity, we must stand against discrimination and divisiveness while celebrating individual differences, while building mutual understanding in order to foster an environment more harmonious society. Digital platforms offer us unprecedented opportunities for engagement and mobilization. Social media is an incredible platform to effect positive change, raise awareness, and initiate conversations that matter. But with such power comes responsibility. Let's use these platforms for positive dialogues that spur action, rather than perpetuating negativity or disinformation. As India's youth are not just leaders of tomorrow, they are also architects of today's progress. Let us use our energy and passion in building a country that embodies justice, equality, and progress that our forefathers had envisioned. Be proactive when facing challenges or advocating for change, contribute towards nation-building efforts, dream big, and work tirelessly toward making those dreams a reality. As we celebrate India's independence, let's not forget that our actions today shape India of tomorrow. Let us all unite behind making India proud and prosperous. Thank you very much. We appreciate it greatly.